So this next point is absolutely 100% something that you must be doing in Arena, and if you're not doing this, then you're definitely not getting as many points as you should be in Arena. What's up guys, Makai Typhoon here, and in this video we're going to talk about how to get better at Arena, how to improve at Arena, and how to score more points in Arena, so stay tuned for all of that. Make sure you watch my last video and enter the giveaway. The winner will be announced this weekend, and let's get straight into it. So the first thing we have to talk about, and this is the biggest mistake people make, and that is not preparing to fight off spawn. So many people just run into fights when you're unprepared. You have a pistol, a sniper, an AR, when realistically you should be just taking your time, have some patience, and prepare yourself to fight off spawn. Get yourself a shotgun, make sure you get shield. I'd say the general rule of thumb is about 150 health. And the most important thing is to make sure that you farm mats. This will absolutely change your Arena game if you make sure that you're farming just something like 200 to 300 mats. No one else will have that, so you'll be able to control fights, you'll be able to outbuild players, because other people are just constantly focused on trying to get weapons whilst you're hitting everything around you in your buildings. Okay, so the next thing if you're struggling in Arena is to make sure that you always have patience. Make sure that you're trying to be the people that's being the third partiers and not getting third partied. And that is one of the most important things. You'll notice that so many fights in Fortnite end because you've been third partied. And after the fight you'll complain, you'll say, oh for God's sake, I had no health, I had no materials, I couldn't build. Well, there's a reason for that, and that's because you've gone into a fight knowing there's other people there, knowing there's a potential of other people to run in and third party, and then you've gotten yourself low on health, so that person can easily come in and pick you off. If you have a little bit more patience and you listen to all the players around you, then you could actually be the third party. You could wait, let those two fight, and then jump in afterwards. And even if you don't get both kills, you can at least get one of the kills and get all the loot as well and be absolutely set for the end game. The next thing seems so obvious, but so many players don't abide by this general rule, and that is do not take stupid fights. So many people in Arena are pushing out of zone. So many people in Arena are pushing fights that they just shouldn't go towards. Someone who's really far away, who has the high ground on them, who can get a beam on them. Just don't take fights that you're not going to win, because then you're going to lose points. The way that you win is by taking fights that you always have the advantage on. If you're above the player and you can get a nice beam down low, if you can get a beam without them seeing, or you can get a sniper without them seeing, and then you can run in and push. These are the sort of fights that you want to take. If you can third party, take that fight, but don't take a fight where you're not going to win, or at least don't take a fight where you're at a disadvantage, because you can always just disengage and then find yourself a fight where you're going to be the ones in control. You must also be making sure you play to your strengths in Arena. Now, so many people don't actually play to their own strengths. Now, your strength might be that you're on controller or you have really good long range aim and you can just sit in your box, beam people and then push. That might be your strength. Or you might be an absolutely cracked mechanical god who's really good at box fighting, so then you should be trying to box fight as many people as you can. So basically just whatever you're good at in creative or whatever you're good at in games, make sure you play to these strengths and make sure you practice the stuff that you're not good at, because one day the eventual goal is to be as good as you can be in everything. But Arena isn't always the best place to practice these things. Sometimes it might be better to go into creative, practice these things there, and then take them into an Arena match where you can practice in a more realistic manner. So this next point is absolutely 100% something that you must be doing in Arena, and if you're not doing this, then you're definitely not getting as many points as you should be in Arena. And that is land at a named location with a good amount of loot, but that's not too contested. So make sure that you learn this spot like the back of your hand. Make sure you know where the chests are, the slurp barrels, materials to farm, and just learn everywhere where you can get the slightest advantage. But make sure the place you choose is only usually contested by 1 or 2 teams, as you don't want to die off spawn every game since you'll lose points really fast. But also you want to make sure that you go somewhere that actually has a good amount of loot, that when you're into the end game you're actually set up with enough loot to kill everyone else and actually win the game. So for example, you don't want to land somewhere where there's only like 1 or 2 chests, because the likelihood of you actually getting a shotgun and an AR and heals and shield and everything that you need from there is very unlikely from just 2 chests. And then when you actually go into fights and you get towards the end game, you're just going to die anyway, so you're not actually going to get very many points and it's just not going to be worth your time. So make sure that you learn a decent landing spot. So the next point I'm going to make, and this point is all about preparation for Arena. Now if you're not actually ready to play Arena and you're not not ready to actually fight people, then don't play arena. And I've said this so many times before, a lot of people say that one of the best ways to improve is to play arena, and I would agree with that, but I also say a counter argument is, if you're not ready to play arena, if you're not actually good enough with fighting people, well, you might as well do that in a much more low stress environment where you're not losing points constantly. So what I would recommend is that you actually go into the 1v1 realistics map and just play a bunch of 1v1 realistics until you're really comfortable fighting. And I'd say just grind 1v1 realistics as much as you possibly can, and then once you're really comfortable and you're winning a lot of your fights, then go into arena, and that way you're not going to lose as many points, because every fight you go into, you'll be confident, you'll be able to win, you'll know how to beat players one-on-one, and then you just need to learn the rest of the game. You know, how to stop third parties, how to be patient in your own game, how to rotate, all of that stuff. But if you can get the fighting down before you actually play arena, then that would be absolutely brilliant, and you're going to gain so many more points then. I just want to make one final point about arena, and that is mindset. I think too many people get into the mindset about arena points in that they're like the holy grail, and if they lose points, it's the worst thing in the world. Just don't worry about losing points, don't worry about reaching Champions League, just play every game to improve. If you lose points, if you die, if you don't do very well in a game, don't let that get to you. Just look at that death, look what you did wrong, and then try to improve on that. And if you constantly try to improve on the things you did wrong and get better, that way you're actually going to make more points in the future. So it's all about trying to become an as good player as you possibly can be in the future. Don't always just look in the present, look to how good you can be next game. And guys, that's going to be all we have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate it so much. Everybody who watches this much of the video, you support me massively. And you could also support me even more if you like the video, comment down below, subscribe, and just interact with me in as many ways as possible. I'd appreciate it so much, because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't entered my giveaway already, I'm going to put a link on the screen for that video. Go to that video, watch that video through, and all the details of the giveaway is there. The winner will be announced this weekend, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you tune into that video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.